Howl by Allen Ginsberg. I saw the best minds of my generation destroyed by madness, starving, hysterical, naked, dragging themselves to the Negro streets at dawn looking for an angry fix, angel-headed hipsters, burning for the ancient heavenly connection to the starry dynamo in the machinery of night, who poverty and tatters and hollow-eyed and sat up, smoking in the supernatural darkness of cold water flats floating across the tops of cities, contemplating jazz, who bared their brains to heaven under the L and saw Mohammedan angels staggering on tenement roofs illuminated, who passed through universities with radiant cool eyes hallucinating Arkansas and Blake-like tragedy among the scholars of war, who were expelled from the academies for crazy and publishing obscene odes on the windows of the skull, who cowered in unshaven rooms in underwear, burning their money in waste baskets and listening to the terror through the wall, who got busted in their beards returning through Laredo with a belt of marijuana for New York, who ate fire in paint hotels or drank turpentine in Paradise Alley, death or purgatoried their torsos night after night, with dreams, with drugs, with waking nightmares and alcohol, and incomparable blind streets of shuddering cloud and lightning in the mind, leaping toward poles of Canada and Patterson, illuminating all the motionless world of time between. Peyote solidities of halls, backyard green trees, cemetery dawns, wine drunkenness over the rooftops, storefront burrows of tea-head joyride, neon blinking traffic light, sun and moon, and tree vibrations in the roaring winter dusk of Brooklyn, ashcan rantings and kind king light of mind, who chain themselves to subways for the endless ride from Battery to Holy Brooklyn on Benzedrine until the noise of wheels and children brought them down shuddering, mouth racked and battered, bleak of brain, all drained of brilliance in the drear light of the zoo. In his poem, Allen Ginsberg strangles the capitalist junkies of America, stares into their blank eyes, peering beyond into their lobotomized brains all drained of brilliance, with no more original thought left than a machine. The most affluent minds are dry. Americans are forced to eat the lamp stew of imagination, where they dip their hands into the total animal soup of time to conjure up ideas, or experience supernatural ecstasy through the utilization of hallucinogenic drugs to draw out meaningful visions, causing not lofty incantations, but stanzas of gibberish. Every work of writing becomes an incomprehensible rant, and eventually all the imaginative works of brilliance dissolve into ash, and eventually the last fantastic book disappears into the past, and eventually the present generation's supposed genius becomes a hallucination. Insane. They're all going insane in the stranglehold of society. Insane in their offices, insane in their flannel suits, insane in their marriages, insane in their families, producing more insane children. Every great mind is sinking down to the madhouse, forced down by the restraints of a straitjacket, strapped together with Moloch, the symbol of societal plagues, capitalism, government oppression, corporate power. Moloch, digging its claws into the meaty flesh of Americans' brains, ripping loose chunks of their creative engines, until all that's left are their basic functions: eating, breathing, sleeping. Americans are machines all plugged into the same power source, wired to plug to outlet to wire to switch, extending across the U.S. from Georgia to Tennessee to Texas to California, ending in Washington, D.C., all wires drawing electricity from under the whitewashed walls of America's figurehead, where government officials continually hit the switch, on and off, on and off, on and off, like machines, their bodies stitched with the threads of corporate production, their eyes covered with the hands of materialism, arms manipulated by corporate overlords, puppets in the contaminated soup of America. They keep the populace under the narcotic tobacco haze of capitalism. The beats desperately burn cigarette holes in their arms to free their minds, but even they are being swallowed up in the animal soup of time, disappearing under the floors and floors of office buildings with rows and rows of identical cubicles on every level. The beats reached into the recesses of their minds, drug after drug, prescription, mind-opening substances, benzodrine, marijuana, tea-head joyride. Is there any meaning left? After stripping away layer after layer, furnishing after furnishing, summer dresses after sunglasses after scarves, is all that's left over a nasty pile of naked superficiality. Was it all in vain? It couldn't be, because in the end, when the angelic bombs of the Soviets cover Americans in a blanket of white, destroying all of society in a flash of light, the beats will be crowned with a laurel in oblivion, and they will be electrified out of their coma, free, the only truly free. I was angry with my friend, I told my wrath did end. I was angry with my foe, I told it not, my wrath did grow. And I watered it in fears, night and morning with my tears, and I sunned it with smiles, and with sought deceitful wiles. And it grew both night and day, till it bore an apple bright, and my foe beheld it shine, and he knew that it was mine. And into my garden stole, when the night had veiled the pool, in the morning glad I see my foe outstretched beneath the tree. I was pissed off at my chum. I told him what was up and my anger vanished. I was mad as a hornet with my enemy. I locked up my fury, intensifying. My anger grew into fierce fury for my fearful tears. It heightened with every deceitful trick I played. My inflamed rage soon sprouted into a radiant red apple. Then my foe noticed its choleric brilliance, and he knew then that it was mine. Once the night sky had become dark and cold, the invader stole the bright red apple from my tree. The next morning, having mixed emotions to see the thief, draped in death in my garden from my furious poison apple.